Greetings, folks. This is Mason Weaver, the author of Tribalism. Today is July 10th, 2016, a few days after the Dallas sniper attack. And the news is full of all stories about the racial tensions in America. We have a racial problem worldwide. People are talking about it. Nations are warning their citizens about coming to America. The president is talking about the racial problem. Everyone, CNN, ABC, everybody's talking about the racial problem in America because of what happened. And I got a funny feeling we've been hypnotized. And I want to talk about it. And it's going to be a tough family discussion. I want to talk to you black folks. You white folks can listen. But I want to talk to you black folks now. But some things that we should be able to clearly understand. And I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm a grown man. My opinion. I don't care if I disagree with your opinion. And let me say something first off the bat. The name calling and the disrespect and the childish immature reaction to what I may say is irrelevant to me. I do not care if you do not like what I'm saying. I'm not representing the tribe. I'm not representing the group. I'm representing the Mason family. My family. Me. And I have some ideas that may help you, may not. Reject them, put them aside. I don't care. I know that people are going to have a problem with what I'm saying, and that's legitimate. We're all adults here. Black history, we owe a debt to those that have passed life on to us. They will try to deflect what I'm saying by name calling and noise making, but we need to go through a public bloodletting. Black folks, it is painful. It is embarrassing. Our ego is depleting. But that is the only way we can come out of this, and only way that we could lead ourselves somewhere else. We're going to have to go and examine. We've got to be cut to the bone emotionally. We have to look at ourselves emotionally and make some decisions, because other folks are telling us who we are and what we're thinking. I wrote a book, It's Okay to Leave the Plantation, but also I wrote a book, Tribalism. It talks about the tribal belief system and how we follow the tribal chief. I'm going to quote from you a little bit of the ending of the book when I start talking about the character. From Tribalism, quote, "We owe much to those who came before us. For their struggles and their sacrifices, we celebrate their victory. From the tears and misery they endured, we gain our strength. To all who struggled and died, to all who resisted and suffered, to those who lived a life not worth living to preserve life for us." Unquote. Folks, our ancestors suffered tremendous, unheard of, unimaginable things. Let's admit some facts. We became captives in our own country, in our own continent. And we were treated less than animals for hundreds of years. And we can talk about who did the slave trade, all that, but something happened to us as a people, as a tribe, that made us vulnerable to what happened to us. We could blame the white man, the Jews, the Muslim traders, we could do all that, but something happened to us to allow folks to come into our villages and pick us up and carry us away as slavery. And I want to talk about that. Because we have accepted the role Master has given us. We believe that we are slaves and we can only beg, borrow, or steal from Master to survive. Thinking outside the box is going against the system. Being an independent thinker is negative in our community. It is dangerous. We call it being uppity, thinking we're up, thinking we're above, thinking we're better. It was dangerous to be uppity in those days. And to show any kind of intelligence was negative. We say things like, quit acting smart. You think you're smart? Acting smart was dangerous, not just for you, not just for your family, but the entire community. We could be raided. We were subject to being murdered by showing intelligence. Learning to read and write was negative. It was negative for your mother and father to see you reading was scary for them. If they had not gone through and submitted to Master, we had to submit. That's ego depleting. We had to submit to the forces of master in order to survive till today. If our ancestors had not submitted and become humble, what they were not, to become docile, which they were not, we would have lost our entire race. We've been wiped out. So we had to do that. But the folks, they had to accept their role as slaves, but in the back of their minds was the hope that you one day will be better. We're standing on the shoulders of those people who came before us. And I am not going to let them down. Black women took abuse unheard of so their children can live. Black men had to disrespect their women and watch them being abused by other men. That will kill your ego. I understand that. But today we are abusing our women because we had to do that in order to feel good about ourselves. The slave trade was different from the African slave trade and other slave industries in the past. Slavery became a commodity, and slaves became chattel property. It was a business. And we could talk about who did what to who, folks. I'm not talking about that. The slave trade compared to serfdom and feudalism was much different. The slave culture, the black culture, has always been in survival mode. We have been in survival mode. Adapt, accept, change. The definition of success. The definition of success now is how many babies I can make. Always been that. Our mode was in survival mode. We didn't have a culture. We were given a culture. It's not our culture to eat chitlins. It's not our culture to pimp our women. It's not our culture. But we developed some things to keep ourselves in existence. You look at the Caribbean islands right now, folks. Black folks aren't there naturally. Black folks aren't off the coast of Florida naturally. What happened to the Indians in the Caribbean? What happened to them? The same Indians in South Florida, Seminoles, were also the Indians in the Bahamas and Cuba. What happened to them? They were slaughtered by the millions to make room for the slaves. And the slaves were brought here and they were given a language so weak they can only be given instructions. Pick that, carry that, go do that. They were not allowed to develop a culture. All their history was taken from them. The men were taken out of their family. The kids were raised by master to work for master. And then we came to America from the Caribbean and directly from Africa. And we continued to be forced into thinking that we were slaves. Education became negative. Being the best slave became the goal. Self-esteem was negative and not accepted. You think you're better than me. You think that you... So now we have our children who have been raised again by master for generations. And now you got these angry black men running out, doing things that are horrible. Folks, black folks, acknowledge it. We have been suffering for generations, but now the suffering is on us. White folks do not care about black folks. Why in the heck should they? You should care about black folks. So here's my solution. Really, it's really simple. Success. Black men. That black woman is you. And not your past. She's your future. That black woman is going to give children to this world from you. And you can be the man and give them surroundings and give them blessings and give them protection if you want to, or you can go out and make more babies. But you should not be with a female that you are not willing to give your life for. Your fathers and their fathers could not do that. They could not live for their families. You can. Poverty in the black community is the result of black men not facing that white man. Real or imagined. I don't mean protesting. I mean competing. I mean taking care of your family better than him. I mean raising your sons to be stronger than him. I mean raising your girls to be more adaptive than him. I mean, black man, stop being a boy. Stop reacting emotionally to what white men are doing to you. Most of us are successful. The news will tell you that black people are angry. Most of us are not angry. Black people are dangerous. Most of us are not dangerous. Black people are in poverty. Most of us, black folks, are not in poverty. I want to tell you folks worldwide looking at us. 25 or so percent of black people live in poverty, which means 75% of us do not live in poverty. We understand how to work this game. But the press, the media is showing you that 25%, the angry, frustrated, deadly, dangerous black folks, and they're telling you that represents me. Folks, you don't like what I'm saying, understand, I'm in the majority of black people. I'm in the majority, educated, earning a living, taking care of their family, married. I'm in the majority. And I'm successful because I act like it. I succeed. So if you're out there protesting the streets and you're grown, that's foolish. You control this country. You control your standard of living. You control your success. You control it. But you're going to sit there and wait for some other man to do that for you? You're saying you're a child for that man. You can't move in life, ahead in life. That's your ancestors talking to you. And they're screaming, boy, get your act together. Let's go and take what's ours in this country. Now join me. YouOughToBeFree.com. Join me. Read the book Tribalism. Join together with people like me. They may not look like me, but they're saying we're free. There are no problems, black man, that you cannot solve yourself better than any other man. Every problem around you in your orbit of influence is your problem. If you're hungry, it's your problem. If you're uneducated, it's your problem. Schools may be expensive, but libraries are free. Stop playing the game. And it's not your degree. Before anybody asks me about my authority to speak on this subject, what degree do you have? What credentials do you possess? Maybe I should talk about this. I'll tell you something, folks. It's not your degree. It's your knowledge. Do you accept what I'm saying or you don't? I'm going about my life. And I don't want to hear about how you feel about what I'm saying. I don't want to hear about how it makes you feel. I don't want to hear if you're angry. I don't care what you think about me. If you agree with me, join me on You Ought to Be Free on my website, Tribalism. Follow me on YouTube. If you don't agree, stay home. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to pay any attention to you because I'm going to freedom. I'm going this way to freedom. You stay a slave if you wish, and your children be raised as slaves, and they be working for master, making him rich. I'm going to the future. This is Mason. God bless you. I love you, black folks. I love you. But I'm not going to let you lead me. Stay right or be left. God bless you.